It's Kaipacha with the weekly what report? It's either Pele or banana, whatever you like. One way or the other, the moon is coming into its first quarter square to the sun in a couple of hours. And that is going to be at 29 degrees 01 minutes of Leo, with that sun at 29 degrees 01 minutes of Taurus, just about to go into the sign of Gemini tomorrow and join Lilith, Mercury, the node, Venus. Look at this guy. We got to have 3 bamboo sticks to hold him up. And you can see, look at here, how the whole banana, it's not a tree, it's actually a grass, but all the leaves are almost gone. All the energy goes into the offspring. All the energy goes into the offspring. Nature is such an amazing teacher. There was something else I wanted to bring up, but let me go into the astrology first. You know, because we've also got a lot going on. When the sun goes into Gemini, then on Friday, it's going to square Jupiter, right? Jupiter over there in Pisces. Yes, indeed. There's another bunch of bananas back there. You see it? And here's our third one up over here. And by Saturday, Mercury comes into a square with Neptune. So we're going to have the Pisces-Gemini square going on a little bit here for a little while with a couple of different planets. In the meantime, Venus is in a very nice trine to Saturn today. So that is really something that we can celebrate. And things are shifting a little bit with Mercury. Mercury on Saturday goes into what is called the storm. And that is where Mercury slows down to less than 40 minutes of motion a day in preparation to stand still and station retrograde. That will be coming up on Saturday the 29th. But yeah, not such a good time to be starting new things so much as finishing up projects that you're already working on. I can talk some more about that maybe. But also, speaking of retrogrades, on Sunday, Saturn stations and goes retrograde. So, boy oh boy. Yeah, now Pluto's retrograde, Saturn is going retrograde, Mercury's going to be going retrograde. Next month, Jupiter's going retrograde. So there's this whole kind of breathing, exhale, inhale that we do with the stars. And I can talk a little bit more about that also. There's just so much to talk about, really. I mean, it's all kind of building up. We are in the eclipse season right now, basically. And the lunar eclipse is not till next Wednesday, but I'm going to be talking about it in general. Yeah, very much today in preparation for that lunar eclipse. It's powerful, very powerful. It's total, and yeah, it's at 5 degrees 26 minutes of Sagittarius. So let me look at the camera and talk to you more. But I just wanted to point out this one thing here. You see how the leaves, the branches that stick up higher, they get blown in the wind and torn apart a lot faster and a lot more than our lower branches and leaves. Do you see that? Another lesson of life. When you stick your head out, when you rise up above, out of the safety of the cocoon or family or society, you expose yourself to a lot more possible tearing apart. Okay, everybody, I'm going to give this a shot. I've got so many different things that I would like to talk about today. And I will try to weave them together. Gemini, of course, is interested in everything. Curiosity killed the cat. So it goes off in many different directions. I'm going to go off in a few different directions, but there is a theme. And maybe if you really listen, you can get the theme to this Pele report. Let's say, first of all, I want to say that I don't know if you could tell last week or not, but I had just tested positive for the virus, like an hour or two before the Pele report. Oh my goodness. I came back from the United States and I had dropped off, I borrowed my brother's truck, and he's a Trumpster. And sure enough, he drove me to the airport, and he gave it to me, he gave it to his wife, and I came home, and by Monday I wasn't feeling so good. Tuesday, Wednesday, I wasn't feeling good, but I was giving a workshop starting Saturday, so I had to get tested, and I tested positive. And yeah, so I have had fever, headaches, all kinds of different symptoms. Basically, no energy, very spaced out. I've been in bed basically all week, and really taking many different treatments, many different remedies. I'm going to do a whole different maybe video on BitChute about this. I'll put the link down in the notes. But for today, I just wanted to say that I have had a lot of time. This whole week, I have been laying in bed very often. I hate to say it, with my computer. And I have been researching and reading and watching videos and YouTubes. I'd like to share one with you today because I feel like it is the most profound video that I have seen. It's only it's a 20-minute segment by Greg Braden. I love Greg Braden. He's amazing. And he speaks about humanity, who and what we are, artificial intelligence, and transhumanism, which is very powerful themes these days, and they are going to get more and more powerful the deeper and farther we go into this age of Aquarius. And the link for his video is down in the notes. And please, if there's any other video that you're going to see, you got to check this out. It will blow your mind. I'm going to come back to that. But first of all, I've also had time actually to read some comments and post. I've made some posts on Facebook, and I've gotten a little active on the social media, and one of the comments that I posted this petition. It was a petition to that there should be no forced vaccination, and it should be people's free choice. And one of the comments that I got, I said I would address in today's Pele report. I want to read it to you. It's New Paradigm Astrology. What has this got to do with astrology? I'm disappointed that your reports have increasingly taken this narrative. As an astrologer, should you not remain impartial and simply provide wisdom and guidance based on the planets? This is all very third-dimensional stuff. As an astrologer, why would you go there? Why would you want to go there? I want to really look at this because I think it's very important. And I think the answer is actually in the question, that going as far back to the beginning of astrology, astrology is based upon the foundation as above, so below. As without, so within. That the macrocosm mirrors the microcosm. And that by following the planets, the moving stars, planets are roaming stars, is the root of that, yeah? Going back, astrology was used. The origins were like a king would want to know when he should start a battle, and he would go to his astrologer priests. Okay, they wanted to know when babies were born. They wanted to know. So everything about astrology is to help humanity, help us to understand and navigate this mundane world. And in order to provide guidance and wisdom based upon the planets, it is applying what the planets, what the archetypes, what the cycles are telling us, about our earthly situation, whether it's our personal relationships or our job or a war or a pandemic or an economic collapse. The outside really mirrors this inside, and there is this interface between us and the world. And this is where astrology can come in. We understand now that we are emerging out of the age of Pisces. And that age of Pisces was where we could go on mountaintops or monasteries or convents, and we could meditate and reach nirvana and samadhi in our own bedroom, in our own cave, etc., etc., etc. And we are emerging out of this age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. And the age of Aquarius has to do with collective consciousness, society, corporations, worldwide webs, global corporations, global consciousness. It has to do with large-scale groups, organizations, the World Health Organization, the Davos people. It goes on and on. Aquarius also deals with the elite, the billionaires. And so, as we move more and more into this age of Aquarius, for an astrologer to really provide any worthwhile guidance and any worthwhile wisdom, he is going to look at the context and the environment within which these planetary aspects are happening, and then use those planetary aspects to offer choices and guidance and options and perhaps alternatives that you might not see without those planets. So I see an intrinsic unity. I do not see a separation between the mundane and the spiritual. Rather, I see it that we are in a unified field. And within that unified field, we want to use everything to our best advantage when making our choices and decisions. Now, another sense is that, of course, now 100 years ago, Dane Rudhyar was the founder of humanistic astrology. And this is where it went into, and this is, and Jeffrey Wolf Green and evolutionary astrology and new paradigm astrology and what I'm doing. Okay, the soul journey, astrology for the soul. Yes, this is, about our inner growth, our inner evolution. And what I can say is that now, 100 years later, okay, the terrain is still changing. And particularly what we can do is follow the planets. Last year in 2020, Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto came together. Started the pandemic, reflected. They didn't start it. It signaled the Great Reset. It signaled the birth of a new reality. And it is proving to be a very dangerous situation. This is continuing on. And we can say that even more so since Pluto entered Capricorn in 2008, where there was the great economic recession. And then, okay, Saturn came up through Capricorn and Jupiter came up through Capricorn. They're now in Aquarius and Pisces, and Neptune is in Pisces. Okay, so we have now Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto, all in the last 3 signs of Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. These are the least personal, most cosmic, we could say most karmic signs of the zodiac. And they have to do with collective influences, religions, governments, mainstream media, pharmaceutical companies, billionaires, YouTube channels, influencers. There's a very powerful impact right now going on each one of us as individuals. And here's where it all ties in with Greg Braden. It all ties in with this eclipse season that we are in, because this has to do with today's mantra. This has to do with the Sagittarius Gemini axis. And that is, and Greg Braden speaks of it, there is a battle going on for your thoughts and what you think. There is a battle going on for your beliefs. Okay? This corporation, this individual, this World Health people, all these people are vying and wanting you to believe in them and follow them and buy their products. And there is a tremendous, charge occurring, happening, and it is affecting each one of us in our individual realities. I'm going to give you one of these because Greg Braden talks about it in his in the video clip below. This was brand new to me. One of the fundamental beliefs that is out there and being very much purported now by artificial intelligence and transhumanism is that we have evolved from the apes, the chimpanzees, and that we are somehow dumb, or that we are somehow not alert, intelligent, awake, that we are missing or lacking, that our immune systems are imperfect, or our bodies are and that these can be enhanced with technology. Maybe a little mRNA, shot into us could, increase, and improve on God's immune system. And what he breaks apart is that there have been new scientific discoveries. And it is now proven that we did not evolve from the apes. Around 200,000 years ago, boom, we came. And I got to listen to it again, but it's like, no, we are not Cro-Magnon. We are not Neanderthals. Okay, we came in with a different set of DNA, and then he goes into the chromosomes, and he goes into the DNA, and he goes into these chromosomes, and he talks about how wise and amazing they are. Particularly the second chromosome, I think, the second and the seventh. He goes because they the one is we are the only creature that can sing, and he goes into this whole situation and condition. But he talks about our body as the ultimate. It is so far beyond any artificial intelligence. It is so far beyond any technology that we could possibly come up with. The idea that we can improve upon nature and improve upon our humanness, by chipping ourselves or plugging ourselves in, or, all this transhumanism movement, which is already underway. He speaks about that too. It's fluff, it's fodder, it's arrogance. And it's the same type of arrogance that causes damage, tremendous amounts of damage. And it put Atlantis under before, and now I think some of the same souls that did it before are back here trying to do it again. The idea that we can improve on nature is a joke. We should learn from nature. Gemini, understand nature. And so as we experience our reality, this is the mantra for today, that my reality is a living experience of what I think and believe. And a lot of these thoughts and beliefs are socio-cultural, religious, family, so many of these are ingrained and conditioned within us before we are even able to speak. That it's up to us, and this is where it's very important now, this eclipse and this south node in Sagittarius, we need to explore the foundations of our beliefs and where did they come from, and who did we trust, and who are we following, who are we listening to. Who told me I'm ugly? Who told me I'm privileged? Who told me I'm guilty? Who told me I'm da-da-da-da-da? We have all kinds of unconscious beliefs. And this is where, this is where life, when we are presented with conditions and situations outside of our control, impressed upon us, that we need to make choices and we need to make decisions, it forces some of these unconscious beliefs up into consciousness. And this is healthy. It is extremely uncomfortable. The Sun square Jupiter, Mercury square Neptune. Okay, Pisces, Jupiter, Neptune, and Pisces has to do with disillusionment. And this is a time, disillusionment is extremely difficult. It can lead to despair. It can lead to suicide. It can lead to addictions. It can lead to numbing out, escapism, anything that you can think of. Very, very dangerous. Wanting to just deny what is happening and not look at maybe the mundane world or what's going on here or there or blah, 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 blah. So, but what's important now, and that's what we go into, is that it is necessary to really go with a fine-tooth comb over all of our thoughts and beliefs. Was that mom? Was that dad? Was that some religion? Was that some guru? Was that da-da-da-da-da-da? Is that true for me? This is what we are really all about, is discovering the unique self. And Uranus and Taurus is radically, unpredictably hurling lightning bolts at us to wake us up. Yes, it is challenging to survive these days. And these are not going to just go away. Particularly, and we can look at this particularly for individual people, because what we've got is a situation here where Saturn goes retrograde at 13 degrees 31 minutes, and it goes back to 6 degrees 52 minutes. And then it doesn't come back, until January 16th. to that 13 degrees. So if you have anything between, okay, 7 and 13 degrees of the fixed signs, that is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius, you are having a powerful Saturn transit. And not only Saturn. Saturn is in square to Uranus for this entire year. Uranus has gone from 6 degrees 43 minutes in January up to 14 degrees 47 minutes August 19th. And then it's going to go retrograde back to 1049. So we can stretch this out. We can say that, you people, okay, myself included, okay, with, fixed planets between the degrees of 7, I'm going to say 14 or 15, okay, are getting seriously pounded between and held between a rock and a hard place. Saturn is the rock, Uranus is the hard place. Saturn is the past, the conventional, the external authorities that are trying to, take control and, run our lives for us. And Uranus, the process of individuation, our unique individualized self-expression. And these two are at major odds with each other, and it will continue throughout the remainder of the year. In fact, it will intensify come October and November is going to really, yeah, they're already talking about another wave coming. Yes, and it is even, it may involve more, if you can imagine that, than the virus. But so to really consider this week and really throughout this entire eclipse season, yes, particularly through the total lunar eclipse that's happening, of which, yeah, that's next Wednesday. But Sunday, I will be doing all about Sagittarius for the New Paradigm Astrology community. It is a group of students studying astrology with me that you can join. And it's a live Zoom that's going to be probably a couple hours long. And I should be all better by then. I'm getting much better now thanks to a number of different treatments that I'm going to go into on another channel. And what else? The songs for this week. I can't help but share who I consider a Uranian creative genius, Jethro Tull, Ian Anderson, thick as a brick. Your wise men don't know how it feels to be thick as a brick. I love that guy. And another one that just kind of came up for me was I will survive. I will survive. We will survive. Maybe not in the flesh, but this is a whole nother topic of conversation that I can talk about another day, is the Western and the Eastern understanding and relationship to and beliefs around death. Because make no mistake about it, many of the choices and decisions and fears that are being fed and brought up right now have their roots in the fear of death. So my reality is a living experience of what I think and believe. I must reject all that's not true if I'm ever to really be free. We cannot build our house on a cracked foundation and expect it to last for a good long time. So we need to go into this foundation, and with the South Node in Sagittarius, the moon coming around through Libra, Scorpio, Sag this week, Okay, coming around. The moon is the past. The south node of the moon is the past. This whole time period here is that we want to, we need to go down into the roots, down into the foundation, and mend those cracks, baby. And then it's all going to work out better, and your reality is going to change. Okay? All right. Because why? Because my reality is a living experience of what I think and believe. I must reject all that's not true if I'm ever to really be free. Yeah. May you really be free. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.